Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, today is a little bit of a sad video as we have decided to sell K.I.T.T. We decided to sell our Performance Model S K.I.T.T. and it's a pretty sad day. K.I.T.T. was our very first black Tesla, and almost about 4 years now and about 60,000 miles, we've decided to sell K.I.T.T. It's unfortunate. I think the idea behind K.I.T.T. initially was to be able to get the car and hold it for a long time, hold it for a very long time. But a couple of things have changed. Let me explain why we're selling and help you understand the reasoning behind it. But before we get into that, if you or anyone you know is looking to buy a Model S, a Model X, or Model 3, make sure you use that referral code or pass that referral code on to your friends or your family. Anyone using our link will be entered into a drawing to raffle off some cool prizes as a token of our appreciation for using our link. Okay, so first and foremost, K.I.T.T. has been a great, phenomenal car. No problems with it, no major problems with it. Everything is purely cosmetic that's had to happen to it in terms of going to the service center. It's been well maintained, well kept, garage kept, and it's just a beautiful, fun car. The idea behind K.I.T.T. initially was to have it for a long time, and Tesla put into place plans that would help ensure that, such as the battery swap program, where you could have your battery swapped for long trips as a means to quick charge, but also having that battery swap program would mean that batteries would become affordable over time, so that we can drive the car for about 4 or 5 years, and at any sign of real degradation is when we would basically come back and get a new battery and extend the life and the longevity of the car to maybe even 8 years. Okay, so since then, Tesla has discontinued the battery swap program, at the very least for as a means of quick charging. But they've also just discontinued it altogether, and the cost of batteries, because the Gigafactory is still ramping up and a lot of that effort is going towards the Model 3 in production, batteries are still pretty expensive in terms of battery packs for the Model S and the Model X. Okay, so that's going away. The cars are supported, but they have a warranty that expires at the end of 4 years or 50,000 miles. And when that warranty goes away, you effectively get sort of an insurance program as a means of extended warranty, where you have to pay a premium every time something is wrong. So things that have gone wrong in terms of the cosmetic things that I mentioned before with the car are typically covered under warranty. The door handle may have not have malfunctioned, or something, the seat may have malfunctioned, and Tesla typically fixed that under the warranty. Under the extended warranty, which can be 2 years or 4 years at a cost of a couple $1,000s each, would effectively allow me to get those issues dealt with, but at a $200 premium every time I bring the car in for everything that's covered under that particular extended warranty. The long-term outlook of ownership becomes a little bit more daunting, because you know that certain things are going to break down. A good example is that, at almost exactly 60,000 miles, the front trunk latch malfunctioned. The error screen wouldn't go away, and it was a big deal because every time you get in the car, it has the warning that the front is actually open when it's actually closed. So I had to get that replaced, and again, just $200 for that. So it becomes a situation where if other things malfunction or other things break that impede the car from driving effectively on a day-to-day basis, whether it's just a visual cue or whether it's something more serious, it's going to require a $200 visit every single time we go to the service center. So definitely not a good situation. In addition to all of the new hardware and new software updates that they're releasing, which are specific to newer hardware. So it's basically putting us in a situation where we have to basically upgrade to a new car in order to maintain longevity or sustainability for these cars, and making sure that we get the latest and greatest, and making sure that we have a warranty coverage for anything that may go wrong. So at this point, the car has retained a pretty good amount of its value in terms of depreciation, and this, I think, is going to be the best opportunity to make a move in terms of selling it before even more cars hit the road and more hardware and more software comes out that entices or draws people away from these older Autopilot 1 type cars. So that's pretty much the reasoning behind it, and we're getting a pretty good deal for it. So we are going to go ahead and proceed with selling the Model S selling KITT and moving forward. We're not quite sure what we're going to get to replace KITT. We may wait a while. We may see what else comes out. We know that a Model S refresh is probably imminent in the next couple years, so we're just going to play it out and see what happens. There's a few more options that we can explore. We'll talk to some people about that, but right now we just want to take advantage while we can, and while the value of the car is still the value of the car, and we want to move forward and proceed with the sale. But before we sell, we have to get it cleaned up. We have to get KITT cleaned up. KITT has been sitting for a while. I've accumulated a lot of dirt, a lot of grime. We want to make sure we get that cleaned up. But we're going to get it washed. We're going to take it to one of our favorite places in northern New Jersey called New Providence Hand Wash. This is a hand wash, sort of a mini detail center, or actually full detail center, but provides car washes or standard car washes in the form of a mini detail. They do a phenomenal job restoring cars to what they look like right in the showroom, or just as you drive them off the lot, if not even better. There are no tracks, so I don't have to worry about getting those beautiful arachnids scratched up. It's all hand washed. They use high quality soaps and materials, and they do a phenomenal job. So if anyone's in the northern Jersey, central Jersey area, it's worth the trip to come up New Providence Hand Wash and get your car taken care of and restored back to new. Again, not necessarily a cheap car wash, if you will, but it's less expensive than getting it detailed, but the quality of getting it detailed is there. So definitely highly recommended. They do a lot of different exotic cars. They do a lot of Teslas as well, the Model S, the Model X, and the Model 3. But the idea is that they just do a phenomenal job restoring the car. So if you ever need your car to look better than new, this is the place to come if you are in the northern Jersey, New York metro area and have the time to take a drive out here and get it done. So now that we got the car all washed up and brand new looking, as you can see, they did a phenomenal job. We're gonna just take a little bit of a 360 walk around the car, talk a little bit about what we like about the car and how it compares to the newer models. So we'll do that now. Obviously, this is great. This car is the Performance 85 version, and this is pretty much the unicorn of the 85s, the end-of-line 85s, those late 2014 builds, only about a couple thousand of them, if that, that have a lot of the upgraded amenities like Gen 2 seats and like autopilot. So this was the advent of the P85Ds that came out and all the functionality that afforded, including autopilot. So these P85s were grouped into that batch of production and effectively have all those new features. So this is pretty unique, a bit of a unicorn. I know there are some threads out there on places like TMC that try to take account and tally. K.I.T.T is one of those. K.I.T.T is definitely one of those. Has the older facial, which I actually prefer, especially in black. Maybe not so much in colors, but definitely in black, it looks a lot better. Love the contrast of the gray trim around the side, the lower ends of the side. Definitely a good contrast, a good sporty look to it. I love the rear diffuser. That's also a little bit more aggressive and a little less so in the new ones. Definitely gonna miss that. Photo sync, the Spectre photo sync looks great here. It does a great job of blocking the heat. Does a great job of adding a nice look to the car, and it basically adjusts based on the light. So it's not super dark. It's not a limo tint. It adjusts to be a little bit brighter in certain light conditions and a little darker in other light conditions. So definitely a good buy there. Again, obviously the 21-inch Arachnids, those will not be sold. We'll be taking those with us, and maybe we can use them for a future car, or maybe we give them away in one of the giveaways. We'll figure out what we're going to do with those, but those are definitely going to stay. But the idea is that this is it. This is a great car. These are actually a little bit bigger than the newer cars. I had some detailed conversations with one of the techs at Tesla, and it is actually true that the newer cars are built a little bit smaller. In terms of the dimensions of the car itself, a little bit lower, a little bit narrower, and it's noticeable when you sit the two cars side by side. So if we're interested in getting a new Model S, I'm not eager to see, this smaller size and how that feels, because I think this is a good size of a car. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's just that right happy medium. But this is a good car. It's been very solid. Again, no real major issues. No battery replacements in terms of the battery pack. No MCU replacements. Everything has been working pretty flawlessly here. Everything that has gone wrong has just been cosmetics, maybe a door handle here or there. Again, the front latch sort of malfunctioned at 60,000 miles, almost exactly. Things like that. But great car all around. Great lines, great curves. We've got the sunroof here. That also works great. But it's just a really, really nice car. Really, really nice car. It's going to be great for the new owner that it's going to have. Now we have sort of the exploded or semi-exploded view, where we have all the doors, the trunk, the front, everything open, so you can see K.I.T.T in all his splendor. But you can also take a look at what the level of detail that New Providence hand wash has done, and the great care that they take for their cars, getting all the levels of detail all around the trim, all on the inside, again making the car look brand new. I would probably take my car to nowhere else outside of a full detail, which can cost hundreds of dollars, but under $100, this is probably the best wash or cleaning of a car that you can get. Again, New Providence hand wash, phenomenal job. But this is the full view. This is, again, having all the amenities that the late 2014 builds had, which is also inclusive of the extended range of the back doors, where the back doors open a little bit wider than the older models before it. You also have the full front here, which is great. You can actually put a full tire in here. We've done that a couple times. You also have that little microwave box in the back where you can store additional content in. So lots of space in the front, lots of space in the trunk, and it's just, again, a great, great car. Okay, so that's about it. That's about a full walkthrough, a full sort of homage to K.I.T.T. I wish the new owner well. He's getting a phenomenal car. And we'll see what happens in the future. We'll see where we go from here, what we do in terms of another Tesla or another car. We'll figure that out soon. But in the meantime, we'll catch you in the next video.